Hello there and welcome to Beads Jar. I'm Natalia and I'm here to show you another fantastic tutorial, and today we're doing glittering Christmas stars. So we're going to be using the Beadsmith Snowflake forms to create these stars. They are wonderful as Christmas decorations for your tree, or just to embellish your home, or even for place settings at a Christmas dinner table, or even all year round actually if you like stars and you like a bit of glitz and glam. So let's take a look and see what tools and materials you're going to need to make these beautiful pieces. So here are the ingredients that we're going to need to make our glittering Christmas stars. First of all, we have our Miyuki seed beads, and these are a grey luster colour. They're size 11s. Next we have Swarovski crystal bicones in argent colour, which have this silver and the combination of silver and crystal, which is such a good look for this star. And these are 6mm. Then we have some crystal bicones, and these are 4mm, and these are in a metallic silver colour. We have our Swarovski pearl, which is a 10mm. Then we have some Swarovski bicones, which are called silver shade, and they are 2.5mm. These are our Beadsmith Snowflake forms. Now, depending on the type of Christmas star you want to make, you can either use one or two of these. I'm going to show you both options. And we're going to need around about 1/3 of a metre of this silver coloured wire, so it's copper with silver colour coating, and it's 0.4mm gauge. And the tools that we're going to need wire cutters, chain nose pliers, and our round nose pliers. I've also got a piece of ribbon. I've got this beautiful blue colour, and this is yeah, I was going to say if it had a special name, but it's just blue 6mm gauze-grain ribbon, and that's what we're going to use to suspend the stars if you want to hang them. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to make these sparkling, glittering Christmas stars. Our first step in the process of making these stars is to take one of the snowflake forms. So we've got 6 prongs on here, and it's like memory wire. This is very tough, and it's able to accommodate seed beads, so it's wonderful. And what I'm going to do first is to thread on 8 of these little Miyuki seed beads. These are the size 11s. So I'm going to show you one prong of the snowflakes. So I'm going to put 8 of these on. And I've found that when I'm doing this, the easiest way is for me to just pick the beads up individually. When I've tried to do it by, pronging and lifting, the other prongs seem to get embedded in my beading mat, but you may find a better system than this one. So, you choose your own way of adding the beads on. So let's see how many I've got there. 2, 4, 6, 7. So I'm going to put my 8th one on. So push those down to the base. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is to get one of my bicones here, the 6mm ones. That's the Swarovski. Oops, put it onto the right prong. I'm going to add, it's going to be 6 more of these beads, these seed beads, onto the prong here. And so I've got 4 there, just 2 more. This is actually really therapeutic to make. So if you're making these as place settings on a Christmas table, it's just a lovely thing to make, and visualizing your guests coming and enjoying and commenting on the lovely stars. And then we're going to add 2 more of these bicones to the ends. And you'll see we've got probably about 4 centimeters of the end of the star here. So I'm going to pop a couple of extra seed beads on there, just to finish that off. So I've probably got about 2 centimeters left on the end of there, which is just what I wanted. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to turn a loop. Now don't worry too much about this loop being absolutely perfect, because the wire is so strong, it's quite a tough thing to do. So just turn it the best you can into a loop. And then what I do, if you can see, there's a little opening there, so I don't want that to happen. I don't want my beads to slide off or that to get caught on anything. So I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and tuck that in. So I'm almost closing it up. Can you see how the beads just want to slide off? So I just need to use my chain nose pliers to be careful you don't crack your beads as well while you're doing that, which I just did. So top tip, don't do it. Okay, so just pressing that in, and then that's my first end of my snowflake, or my star there. So I'm going to repeat that process and do those beads on the other, 5 of those prongs, and then come back and join me when I've done that. So that is our first star finished, and doesn't it look beautiful? Now, as I said, you have an option. You can just leave it like that, and you can thread a ribbon through one of the loops there if you like, and that's your Christmas star done. Or you can make another one, and you can pop them on top of one another and wire them together, and that's what we're going to do here. Now, I have done a slightly different arrangement here. So I've used smaller bicones, and I've done like a different pattern. So on this second one, if I move that one out of the way, you'll see that instead of putting 2 bicones on the middle of each of these stalks, I have put 1 smaller bicone and then 2 larger ones on the ends. It just creates a little bit of interest. It looks really nice. So I'm going to pop the smaller one on top of the one that has the larger bicones on it, and get that fairly central. And then I am going to take the wire. So this is this is the 4mm wire, and I'm just going to find the middle of the wire and just wrap it around those 2 pieces like that. So at first you're just going to take both pieces of wire down underneath your star, and then take one of them, take it up around, and just pull the wire tight so that it engages really well with the 2 stars and just fastens them together really nicely there. And don't worry about the wire in the middle, because we're going to be putting a Swarovski pearl there. So if, like me, you find that you've got a little piece of wire sticking up a little bit higher than you want to, just use your chain nose pliers to pull it back down. So we want to just tuck those wires in a little bit. And then we're going to add our pearl in the center. And like I said previously, if you want to keep it quite minimalist, you can do. But I do like to make it as glitzy and glamorous as possible. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me just grab my Swarovski pearl. So I'm going to take one of the ends of the wire, pop that through the center of the pearl. And then you just want to stand the pearl up a little bit so that it is sitting with equal pieces of wire on either side, so it doesn't stand lopsided and you can see one of the drill holes. So once we've got that in place, I'm going to take that wire underneath. Just pull that other wire out of the way so that it doesn't get in the way of what we're doing. And then pull the wire back from underneath your stars, and then wrap the wire around the center of the pearl, just pulling that together. And then when you've done that, the end of my wire's got a little bit bent, so I'm just going to take some wire cutters. I'm going to snip that off because I've still got plenty of wire there. And then I'm going to take my 2.5mm Swarovski bicones and I'm going to thread those onto this 4mm wire, this piece of wire that I've got here that's coming out of the pearl. So you're going to thread on these little bicones, thread on as many as you need, just to, it's like to embellish the base of the pearl, really, just gives it a little bit of extra decoration there. Because Christmas stars are all about being as twinkly and sparkly as possible, and all of the facets on these bicones really make it shine. And the great thing about using the combination of Swarovski bicones and the lovely seed beads is you're making a really good quality piece that will last for many years to come. So I don't know about you, but I really love making decorations that can be brought out year after year. And when you're using really high quality components, it just adds to the magic, doesn't it? So we're halfway round, so I'm going to keep adding more of these bicones on until I get all the way around. They are quite small, so and we have very bright lights here in the studio, so that's why I'm struggling a little bit to find the hole on them, but I'm getting there. Okay, so I reckon I'm going to need another 2 or 3. I'm going to try 2 more. See how I get on with that. So you want to make sure all of those are aligned really nicely with one another. I've actually got too many on there, so I'm going to slip one of them off. Once you've done that, just take your wire underneath the bicones and just wrap it around a couple of times. And then take the wire underneath the star. And let's go on to the back here. So we need to finish off these wires just to make sure that they are nice and secure. So I'm just taking the wire underneath one of the ends of that snowflake form. When you do this, if your wire wants to stick onto the seed beads, you can just use your chain nose pliers just to nudge it down a little bit. And so I'm happy that that's secure enough. I'm just going to snip off the end of that wire. And I'm going to, if it's sticking out, you can feel it with your finger. Yeah. I'm just going to tuck it down underneath the other wires. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So this piece of wire, I'm just going to wrap it around the snowflake form there. I'm going to do it in a way it's not visible on the front. And one more time around this other one, and then I'm going to just trim that piece of wire off there and use my chain nose pliers just to push it down. I can tuck it in under some of the other little pieces of wire that I've wrapped around there. Run my finger over it, make sure that it's not snagging at all. So when we turn it over to the front, I just get the pearl nice and central, move the snowflake forms around a little bit. They are posable and adjustable, so you can get it exactly how you want it. And that is one very, very fancy, sparkly star. I hope you'll agree with that. And I've got the final finishing touch here. I do fancy hanging mine on my Christmas tree, so I'm going to just get this piece of ribbon. I've cut the end of the ribbon at a bit of an angle. I'm going to feed it through one of these loops. So let's feed it through there, at the end of that ribbon. And then we have something that we can hang our star with there. And you can just finish it by tying a knot in the end, or a bow, whichever suits you, whichever way you like it. And there we have our glittering Christmas star. Now I have actually made this in copper tones and golden components here. So I'm using some metallic gold bicones there, and I've got a brown pearl in the middle, and then some, these are like orangey coppery coloured bicones and gold coloured seed beads there. So it just get a completely different look. But they really are effective, and there's something so lovely about them being stacked together and having more volume. So there you have your project completed. Those are the glittering Christmas stars. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's inspired you to make your own glittering stars to embellish your home this Christmas. Do take a look at the show more section. You'll see links to our website where you can find all of the different components to make these and lots of other amazing products in our website. Do also make sure that you like, comment, share this video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any tutorials in the future. And we'll be back with more very soon. Bye for now.